I felt like I had something earlier and then I lost it.
Welcome to another edition of the Gentleman Fantasy Podcast. I'm Kyle, your host. With me, as he is every week, Robert Rushlow. Rob, we watched an incredibly, not incredible Packer game.
I mean, if you're a defense guy, it was pretty incredible.
Was it?
That was definitely something. It was unique. Can we go with that? It was very unique. And I was extremely proud of the Packers defense. And it's just funny, like, we finally get that portion figured out.
Yep.
And then magically, out of nowhere, this offense that has been a machine is just like, nah, we're good.
Yeah, the offense is less than desirable. I don't know what's going on. There is a photo of Matt LaFleur standing at the counter on the sidelines with a Surface tablet that has taken the internet by storm.
He didn't seem happy with that tablet.
Yeah, everyone's kind of wondering, what what was on the tablet at the time. It was something else. But being at the game, it was also a unique experience. There was a guy, a group of people, about 4 rows in front of us and, like 7 seats over, that got thrown up on, like at the beginning of the second quarter. And when I say got thrown up on, I mean like a full pile of vomit was in this guy's hood on his jacket. It was pretty unfortunate. I am glad that I have never experienced anything like that at a football game. I don't know how I would have reacted, but it seemed like he reacted better than most people would have. I feel like I would have turned around and punched that guy in the face.
Yeah, I mean, say what you want about me spilling beer on people, but at least I'm not puking on them.
Yet. Robert Rushlow was the guy who threw up on that guy.
No, I'm not. Don't put that misinformation out there. That's not fair.
That is not fair.
I have standards, Kyle.
But yeah, so that was our Monday night game. In other NFL news, somehow the Miami Dolphins are the greatest football team in the NFL.
Actually, you might need to hit that breaking news drop again.
All right, let's do it.
There is a better team. Now, I know not everyone agrees with my logic, even though it's clearly proven to be flawless. I mean, what did I say? Dolphins are great, and it showed. So here, I'm going to explain to you why the Saints are the best team in the NFL. All right? So we all know that the Packers beat the Lions. Lions are a great team, right?
What are the Saints' record right now? Aren't they like 2-8 or something?
Yeah, they're just hitting their stride. Hear me out. Hold on.
Okay, all right, I'm listening.
All right?
I'm listening. The Saints?
Stay with me here, because you said the same thing about the Dolphins, and look what happened. All right,
okay,
you got to trust
they are
the
like
process.
the best team in the NFL. I'll give you that. Okay, all right.
All right. We all know the Packers beat the Lions, and we all know the Falcons beat the Bills.
Yes.
And we all know the Dolphins also beat the Bills, and we also know that the Panthers beat all 3 of those teams: the Falcons, the Packers, and the Dolphins. But guess who beat the Panthers, Kyle?
The Cardinals.
The New Orleans Saints just this week, which makes them the greatest team in football.
Wow. I don't even have a response for that. So what we're saying here is the Dolphins.
Let me put it.
The Dolphins and the Saints are the best 2 teams. So it should be a Dolphins Saints Super Bowl. Is what we're talking.
100% with the Saints probably winning. You know what they say, Kyle? As the great Ric Flair once said,
serious.
if you want to be the man, you got to beat the man, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And the Saints beat the man. They beat the Panthers, who have wins over all those great teams, including the great Dolphins, possibly a better team than the 72 fucking Dolphins.
Just yeah, okay, sure.
This Kyle's what I've been missing the whole time I've been watching football, and I've been losing these bets and wondering, like, what am I not understanding? Why are my fantasy teams not winning? I just wasn't looking at it the right way, and now I totally get it.
Now you got it right. Oh
yes.
Man. In other news, the Dolphins beat the Bills.
Yeah,
and DJ,
as I said they would.
DJ Mikey D is he is at the center of a controversy, and I feel like we need to
He's
lay
being
this
very grown up about it.
We need to lay this one out there. All right, so they beat the Bills, and then there's this photo that surfaced on the internet of Mike McDaniel in his car driving by this bar that apparently the Bills fans hang out at after the game. And just for fun, this is the Mike McDaniel response when questioned in his press conference. All right.
That's why I like the good old days, the throwbacks of yore where you could trust, the internet and the images, because, it is pretty detailed. That I do live in that area, but, I mean, AI, right?
So it doesn't answer the question.
Well, I mean,
So are you
confirming or denying?
I mean, I live in that area. AI is real. That's what I got for you.
Okay. One of the things that stood out to me about the game was that
No, for the record, I did not answer it. That's the punchline of the humor.
one of the things that stood out to me about the defense.
That's why.
So that was the clip of Mike McDaniel in his interview afterwards. He blames AI. Then they tell him that he wasn't answering the question, and he's like, guys, that is the punchline. The punchline is I'm not answering the question. So all signs are pointing to, that's not AI. That was clearly Mike McDaniel trolling the Bills fans on his way home from the game.
Hey, you gotta take the wins when you can get them, right? And sometimes, not being the adult in the room is fun. As a head coach of a professional organization that makes millions of dollars a year.
Say what you will about DJ Mikey D, but when he inevitably gets fired in the next 3 weeks, I am going to feel a loss that we no longer get to hear. Like, this guy's never going to coach in the NFL again. He's never going to be a head coach. He's never going to be in a press conference on the podium. We're never going to get this from him ever again. We need to cherish the next 3 weeks of our lives. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, well, he'll be a great what do you call that? A TV personality.
I don't even think he'll get there. I mean, I think he's too not cutting edge, but he's too controversial for that.
That's just what we need. The what do you call it? The analysts of the world and stuff like that. I feel like it's been getting a little dry, very boring. Even Fitzmagic is kind of losing his edge.
Yeah,
I think this is just what we need.
The beard is only good for so long. I don't know.
Agree. McDaniel has one of those scruffy preteen beards too.
Yeah, McDaniel, he's got something going on. But all right, well, let's shift gears. What do you say?
Shift away.
All
Shift
right.
me to the future.
Here we go.
Where I make the playoffs.
Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs?
Yeah, that's right, Jim Morrow. We are talking about playoffs. Rob.
Love it.
We are 4 weeks to the playoffs in the League of Ordinary Gentlemen. Let's take a look at the standings.
I just got to win out, baby. I can do this.
I don't even know if winning out is going to do it for you. Let's be real.
It could. All right. There's
All right.
a 0.7% chance.
Let's take a look at the standings. Jason is the number 1 overall seed at 8-2. He is the highest in overall points. He is the leader in the Fonzie division, and the two teams behind him are Carl and Ryan at 7-3. We'll speak more on that later, but I'm going to say Jason's locked in. In the 2 seed right now, 7-3 is Steve. He is the leader in the Richie division. He's got a comfortable 2-game lead on you. Also, on top of that 2-game lead, I'm going to beg to say that it's more like a 3-game lead because he is 180 points ahead of you in scoring, which doesn't bode well for you. I mean, it's 4 games left in the season, and you got to win all 4 and hope Steve loses 3.
Yeah, I mean, it's not an ideal situation, but I mean, again, I don't want to give up. I'm feeling like I can pull out a miracle here. I have some decent matchups. Krall's not ideal coming up here, but I can make it happen. Jason's gonna rest his starters, and I'll have an easy one there because he's locked in. It's usually what you do.
Yeah, I don't know if that's what you do in fantasy football, but you can try to convince Jason to do that. Sure, I don't know.
Yeah, but even if I don't, hear me out. Steve has to face Jason in week 12, so. If Steve loses that one, that gives me 1 game.
There's a possibility. Do you have to play Steve yet? Is the question.
I do not.
Oh,
but
all right.
I play Los, and I play, unfortunately, Jason in week 13. But like I said, he's going to rest his starters. Get them ready for the playoffs, and I'm right there.
I will let you convince him to do that. I don't see it happening, but good luck.
I have after Krall this week. I have the 1-9 James Hegner, so I still have a path. There's still light here. He
is a 1-win wonder.
Indeed,
it gives him a 1% playoff percentage. Me as well as a 1% playoff percentage. I don't believe that is even possible, but I digress. The 3rd seed, the number 1 team in the Chachi division is Zach. He, at this point, would get to pick his matchup for round 1. He's 6-4 in his division. So this Chachi division is the tight division here. Andrew is 1 game back and 20 points back. Rathgaber is also 1 game back, but 80 points back from Zach. So, I mean, in 4 weeks, I think a lot could change in that division. All 3 of those teams are alive there.
Yeah, and I could have the chance to play spoiler here because in the last week of the regular season, I play Zach.
So that could be a big matchup right there. In your 2 wild card spots, you have Krall and Ryan, both at 7-3. I don't really see how they don't end up in those 2 positions. I mean, obviously, mathematically speaking, there are ways that if the Chachi division goes on a tear here and one of those 2 teams falters, there's a possibility that someone else could get in there. But Krall and Ryan are 3-4 overall in scoring, so I don't really, they would need to drop a couple of games and, be 1. They'd have to basically drop probably 2 to 3 games. Well, no, 3 games because everybody else is 5-5 that's not in. So they would have to drop 3 games each or 1.
Yeah. Well, we do know Krall's going to drop this week to me, so count that as 1. So
I'm afraid I just blew myself.
Anyway,
I'm going with irrational confidence, Kyle. I have to. My path to 4th place.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could say that. Up next, your 6th seed in on high points right now is 4-6 Luke Depre. He's 3 games back in the Richie division, so there's no way he can really catch Steve. But he's 4-6, and he is 5th overall in points at 1192. Behind him for this position would be Andrew. So Andrew has a few options here. He's 20 points back from Depre as well. Rathgaber is close to 100 back from Depre. So that's where it stands there. So those are your 6 that are in as of now are Jason, Steve, Zach, Krall, Ryan, and Depre. On the edge is Andrew and Rathgaber. And your bottom 4 is you, unfortunately, Rob. I think you're out.
I just got to get there on record. We talked about this. We'll be all right.
Mike, also, he's 4-6. Mathematically, he's still in it, but he's 10th overall in scoring and massively behind in points. And then, of course, you've got...
Man, you are one pathetic loser.
Jimmy and myself, both at 1-9. I don't know if it can get any worse.
Yeah, I mean, your team is really bad. Like, historically, for you, this is especially bad. Like, typically you're decent at this game, even for, the fact that we only have a championship between us. It's very strange seeing you this miserably pathetic. You picked the right drop there. I would like to just say again that you have a terrible fantasy football team.
Thank you.
Everything you did went wrong. You're horrible. Everyone in this podcast is now dumber for having had to play fantasy football with you. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
How was school?
Worst day of my life. What do you think?
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel right now. I don't really know what to say. There's really no reason for me to really speak on my team. The thing that is confounding to me is the fact that this team that is supposedly the most miserable team of all time, I have a top 5 quarterback and 3 top 15 running backs.
I actually like your team.
Me too.
Well, I mean, your bench is not great, but
yeah.
Two good quarterbacks. Like, your starters look good. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't, not to defend myself or anything, but once things really went sideways and I was 1-4, 1-5, I kind of quit with the waivers because I'm like, what do you want me to do here? I keep losing to the highest scoring team every week. I don't know.
True, but even what were waivers really going to do for you anyways? I mean, it's not like there was this wealth of amazing talent on waivers this year. It wasn't one of those I could spend big and get it all. Your flex guy is Swift, who's projected for 15.5 points. You're not going to pull a waiver guy doing better than that.
Well, the fun fact is I drafted Rico Dowdle and kept him until the week that Chuba Hubbard got hurt. Now, I'm going to be quite honest. The fact that if I still would have had Rico Dowdle, I don't think it changes anything in my team for the sheer fact that I have 3 top 15 running backs. So just adding another top 15 running back is going to do zero to impact my team aside from making a trade.
Right. It would have been trade bait. You could have did a 2-for-1 and maybe got a top receiver. But yeah, the running back wasn't going to help you, at least not enough.
So yeah, that's where we're at standings wise. It's pretty cut and dried. I mean, there's 6 teams in, 2 more have a possibility. There's 4 teams that I personally think are out. Rob still thinks he's got a chance, but that's where we're at here.
Knows he has a chance. I'm willing it into existence, Kyle.
Well, you can continue to will that into existence, but we have our special guest of the night here, joining us in a very dark room, and I'm not even quite sure if she's actually there. Oh, there she is. She was in front of the camera.
Is that the crawl space?
Are you hanging out with Crawl? Our guest, Jackie. I feel terrible. I forgot. I'm so used to having someone on this podcast that already has a drop that I forgot to contact you earlier today to get a drop for you.
Are you kidding me?
Damn it.
Come on.
So I apologize. I'm going to edit it in after the fact. So you're going to have an opportunity right now to pick your drop or have Kyle in the background pick your drop.
I don't even know what it would be. I don't even know. You got to come up with something good.
Kyle has a podcast, and we're looking really bad right now in front of our higher tier friends because of your failure to produce this, Kyle.
Do you have a drop on that podcast, Jackie?
No, I don't.
Oh, I don't. You should get one. I mean, I feel like that's important, is it not?
They're professionals.
I'm only there on occasion.
They don't
And it's
just
rare.
let anybody
It's rare.
on.
Oh, right, of course. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, Jackie, let's pull up your team here and let's find out. Let's analyze what happened.
Yeah, I want to know what happened too.
It all fell apart. And I mean, in an epic way. I think you scored maybe 100 points less than everybody else that's left. It all fell apart.
It was bad. It was a bad, terrible, awful fucking week.
Yeah. I mean, you summed it up pretty well there, but let me reinforce it. Like for being this far into the year to score sub 100s is really, really bad. Like there's only half the teams left. So many players were available.
And it wasn't even the sub 100s. I mean, it was 63.4.
Woof.
Yeah.
So let's quick analyze Jackie's team here. I think your biggest downfall, especially this week, was the quarterback situation that you had. Kyler Murray's on IR. Your other two options were Bo Nix and Jordan Love. And let me tell you, Jordan Love has not been showing up recently. And Bo Nix is kind of trick or treat, right?
Well, I don't know. Looking at Bo Nix's past scores, I thought he was worth it. So
he is
I was like,
QB7
all right,
in scoring.
Huh?
He is QB7 in scoring. So he's got the points.
I was like, all right, he's going to be a good pickup and I'll have a nice second quarterback. And then as soon as I pick him up, he gets, what did he even have? Like 6, 7, 8 points that game?
Yeah, both quarterbacks had. Don't even start with me.
Yeah.
It was 6-8, by the way, you motherfucker.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You know everybody at home did the 6-7 thing too with their hands.
Listen, I coach a 5th and 6th grade basketball team, and I make them run laps every time I hear one of those morons say 6-7. Because Jesus Christ, there's no reason for it. Oh.
I'm so happy right now. But yeah, Bo Nix, it's funny because I was talking to Kyle about you getting him when you picked him up for $10 or whatever. And I was like, God, I really wanted anybody but Jackie to get him because of the upside, right? The potential for him to score a lot of points. And I was like, shit, because now I have to worry because I had Pat Mahomes on bye. Like if Nix goes crazy, I have the potential to be on the chopping block, which obviously didn't happen, but like I really wanted anybody to outbid you for him.
Yeah, nobody did. I was super stoked to get him. I was super stoked to get him, and then he fucking did nothing. I mean, that game was atrocious. That Thursday night game was just bad all around.
I agree picking him up was the right move though. For what your team was, that was the play for sure.
Yeah, and on top of that, of course, you fell victim to Rico Dowdle. Uncle Rico Rico'd you. They put him in the game, and he threw for 400 yards or ran for 400 yards, and Chuba Hubbard just got relegated to the bench, which is surprising because Chuba he was fantastic last year. I liked him coming into this year. I had high hopes. I wanted to draft him. He played great for the first 2 or 3 games, and then, you got Uncle Rico'd.
Yeah, I can't believe how, because like you said, Chuba was very good and serviceable, and it was doing fine. I thought there would be more of a 50-50 split, and that they would, use this advantage they have with 2 good running backs to kind of just alternate drives, stuff like that. Instead, they're just like, nope, it is the Rico show until otherwise... until further notice. I've never seen something like that where a very serviceable running back is just shut all the way down and replaced. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's definitely very disappointing. It sucks. I, in our other league, played against Rico Dowdle, and god damn it, he just fucking went balls to the walls like he normally does. I'm like, fuck, that sucks.
Yeah, it's crazy how much he transformed. Like, where was that energy and that like head of steam and all this stuff when he was with Dallas?
Right.
Like, he got plenty of chances to start, in place of like injuries, and none of that was there. And it reminds me of the Parsons thing. I think maybe there's just like a bad like locker room vibe or just a bad energy in Dallas where these players just don't get up and get energized and play hard for that team.
Yeah. I don't know. It didn't make sense to me really. How he came out of nowhere. Like, I don't know. Like I said, I had him in the other league and I had a flyer on him. And I was like, okay, well, if Hubbard gets hurt, he might be fine. I was not expecting what that was.
Right. Yeah, that's incredible.
So, Jackie, let's look over your waiver pickups. You used all, but I think you were down to like what, $8?
I think 6.
6? Okay.
Yeah.
Looks like week 1 here. Keenan Allen for $18. Justin Jefferson for $42. That was the big splash.
That was a lot.
Yep. Kyler Murray for $21. And by the way, Justin Jefferson went for $3 today. That's the fantastic part about this league. All because of the amount of money that's left on the table.
You still have a lot of money left.
I have $17, I believe.
That's still a good chunk of change.
It is. And thank the Lord I was able to convince Lois that I was going to go big on Jamar Chase because he spent like $17 this week, I think.
I was wondering what happened because I was like, you didn't get a single one of my wide receivers.
No, I was talking it up purposely to see
and you were
if
all
I could
about
get
it.
him. I was trying to see if I could get him to overshoot because I fucked up on the running back.
Oh, on the Dallas
on Javonte. I screwed up on Javonte and way overbid it. So I was really trying to push the fact that like I was on tilt and I was just going to go all in to get Chase, which I did want Chase. But I wasn't going to spend more than half of my budget to get him. And luckily Lowe's spent more than half of his budget.
Yeah. I mean, with Jimmy's wide receiver situation and the fact that by some miracle he's still in this thing, you look at the fact that he's got Waddle, Romeo Doubs, and Devontae Smith. Like, I could see a world where he might have just been thinking about that aspect too. Like maybe Jim just goes all in on Chase and just hopes for the best, you know, knowing that maybe he just thinks he's good at running back. But yeah, I don't know. Like he may have spent a lot either way, but it probably had something to do with it.
Yeah. I mean, let's quick look at the offers report. I mean, he put $17 on Chase. I had 7 on him. Ryan had 6. That was it for the bids. Jalen Warren went for 4 to Zach.
He put 24 on him. So what does he have left after that?
I think Los has like $10. Am I right?
Yeah, I believe so. I just had it up a second ago. Yes, $10.
Yep, because he's got $10 left because he had 31 and he spent 21. I myself and pretty much half the people left had $2 on Jalen Warren. Ryan got Jefferson for $3.
$3, damn. And I
And
spent 42 on him.
Yeah. Well, he did not deliver. I don't think he delivered the way that you were hoping to, really. I mean, he had a lot of solid weeks, but he didn't have those huge weeks. He didn't have the Jamar Chase weeks.
Well, it's not from a lack of being open, I'll tell you that much. Fucking his quarterbacks are just failing him completely.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give you that. That quarterback situation in Minnesota is not great.
Yeah, McCarthy had that one big game, and all of a sudden everybody thought he was Jackson Dart, and it's not the case. Like, he's still J.J. McCarthy, everybody. Nobody freak out.
We're comparing people to Dart now?
Well, I just
there's
mean
a
by the
bar
fact that
there?
he's no, I meant like rookie quarterback wise. Like, you know, it was the expectation when he came out and lit the world on fire in that game that, oh, shit, post-injury, this is the new and improved J.J. McCarthy. He just needed more time to see the offense, you know, and it's just not the case. He's still J.J. McCarthy. He just had one good game. It happens sometimes.
I guess. So with that said, Jackie, what is your reaction to joining this extraordinary guillotine league? How did it feel to be in the league? What do you feel like you would have done differently? Are you off the high? that you have every week, thinking about waivers. How are you going to cope with no longer being in the league? How do you feel about all those things?
Yeah, that's a lot of questions. It's it's a bittersweet feeling. I'm sad that I'm done, but at the same time, I'm kind of happy because I don't have to stress about it anymore. I don't have to worry about it. I can just let other people be stressed and figure out their shit and not be a part of it, and that's great.
I'm excited to join you. I'm truly excited to join you.
Right?
I can't wait.
It was definitely very different. So, I mean, obviously, this is the first time I've ever done something like this and been a part of this. So maybe I'll have a better drafting strategy next year.
I don't think in a league like this with that amount of teams that you can have a strategy. You know what I mean?
It's hard. It's really hard, especially when how many temes you guys gonna have next year? Like 20, 24?
No, the most you can do is 18.
No more teams. No, Jesus,
full 32.
Good God.
I waited so long, and I was like, well, shit, I don't know. Do I draft a quarterback? Do I draft a running back? I don't fucking know.
No, because I know what happens. I know what happens as soon as we add more teams to this league. We have to bring back kickers, and that is not happening, or I quit.
So if we're going to do the head coach scoring, we got to tweak the scoring next year because there is not a big enough swing, I think, on them to really make a difference. Because really, in most cases, it's you're either getting 5 points or you're getting kind of 0 points. It's just kind of the swing.
Because you get a fractional point for the points scored thing. So it's just very, great, my team scored 50 points, which is pretty impressive for a team. That's 5.
And you
That's
get 5 points.
for your team.
I know. See, and I was trying to make it so that you wouldn't get too much. But at the same, looking back at it, I was like, it really should have been more of a premium. I'm not sure if you can factor in turnovers and takeaways, but if we can, I think I would add that to the equation for next year. Like you get a point for every turnover, and you get a point taken you get a point taken away for every turnover, and every takeaway that your team has, you should get points.
Yeah, we should dig into that. Make it fun. Because if a kicker can get 4 points for kicking a goddamn 40-yard field goal, your head coach should be able to get something for
scheming up a good defense or something.
Is this the first year you've done head coaches?
Yeah, I've never even seen it before. Yeah, so this is new to all of us.
Yeah. So every year with this league, granted, this is only the second year, but
I was like, head coach, what the fuck?
Yeah. So we were trying to figure out a way.
Well, this is weird.
So we were trying to figure out a way to replace the kicker just for fun, and it was 3 days before the draft. I just went into ESPN settings and I was like, what weird thing can I do? And it was either punter, but I didn't know how to quantify what stats should actually be used for a punter. And the ESPN stats were net yardage and touchbacks and shit like that. And then with the head coach, it had a recommended set of settings, but they were very generic. The head coach settings were so much for a win, so much for a loss, and however many points scored. And then I was like, no, we can do margin of victory, we can do total points scored, we can do this, we can do that. And I added a little bit of everything in, but adding a little bit of everything in just kind of meant that nothing mattered, because you got a little bit for this and a little bit for that, but lose a little bit for this, and
it all equals out anyways.
Yeah, it didn't amount to any actual point, differential. So I had to tweak that for next year if we're gonna keep that in. But we're gonna try something else, dear. 1 year, I was honestly thinking that 1 year we would do inverse quarterback scoring.
God, please no.
Where you take your quarterback and if they do, you get negative points for doing well and positive points for doing bad.
What?
Kyle
an
used to love
interception.
this bad.
Yeah.
There used to be a thing we were in. It was called the Bad Quarterback League. And the worse quarterback you had, the more points he scored. It was so
Correct.
dumb. You
So,
won
like,
by losing.
In that situation, you would
Well,
get
I would like that.
you would get 6 points for an interception, but you would only get, and you would lose. It's basically the interception would be a touchdown, and then a touchdown would be an interception. So if you threw an interception, you got 6, you got 6 points if you threw an interception, but if you threw a touchdown, you got -3. If you took a sack, you got a couple of points. If you had over so many rushing yards, you lost points because, a quarterback's not supposed to be good. That kind of stuff. So you can do some pretty wild shit. But yeah, so every year there's going to be one tweak, and it's going to be a tweak that isn't necessarily publicized. It's going to be on the people who are in the league to actually read the rules. Because people came into the draft and they were like, what the fuck is this head coach thing? I'm like, well, I did tell you to read the rules.
I didn't read them at all. No.
So
I only drafted my starting, and then once it was to the bench spots, I said, I'm out. I'm going to bed.
And that's so. Hey,
I really didn't give a shit. I'm sorry.
And she made it this far.
Yeah, exactly. She
Yeah,
made it a lot
I
farther
did.
than most people. Now let's look back at. Oh, I don't think I can do that anymore.
Because I ended up with
what are the draft day
a
rosters?
bunch of tight ends and just injured players on my bench.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. I can look up draft day rosters. Who did you have? Boy, yeah, you did have a bunch of tight ends. Holy shit.
A lot of tight ends.
Yeah, so you went Jamar Chase, Jordan Love, Chuba Hubbard, Xavier Worthy, Jalen Warren, Laporta, Shakur, Benson, Lions head coach, Colts defense, and then Bashal Tootin. And then you got 4 tight ends. Evan Ingram, Dallas Goedert, Mason Taylor.
Yeah,
and
that
Elijah
was when I
Arroyo.
went to bed.
Yeah,
Wow.
So 4 straight tight ends, and then threw in Jalen Coker, the Carolina wide receiver, in there. So yeah, that started you behind the 8 ball. That's for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I could see why you had to spend money early. But Kyle, you are on record to like a handful of tight ends.
Thank you. Well, with that said, Jackie, next year, what is the one thing you would do differently?
I mean, maybe I'll stay up for the whole draft next year.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I'll consider it.
Maybe.
Good
I made
news.
it this far, which is farther than I thought. Actually, last week, Sunday, before Kyle had lost, we were sitting on the couch watching Sunday Night Football, and he's like, hey, I can just trade you my 2 Monday night players and guarantee that I lose and you make it through. Because
should not
I
have
was
told us that.
like, well, I could potentially lose if you guys score a lot. It was between him and someone else.
But did you have 2 players that weren't locked?
I think I did. That I
Collusion.
and that's why he wanted to do it. He's
I mean,
like,
the only line we have here is apparently we can't trade lineup locked players. I mean, Steve's adamantly opposed to it.
Can you as a commissioner say no? That's absolutely not happening. That's totally unfair.
In this league, at this point, the line of ethics is where you feel like putting it. And
we're
said,
just kind of shooting from the hip here.
Yeah, with that said, pretty much anything goes. But I'm pretty sure if you did something incredibly sketchy, there would be some angry people. But we can't stop it. Like, the way I see it in this league, kind of anything goes. And if you had 2 players that were not locked, if you had 2 buy players, is right. The buys don't lock, right? Rob?
I don't think so.
No.
Yeah, so like if you had 2 bye players and you made a trade with him before the end of the week, I mean, you know, like I don't think I'd stop it. Like I don't want to be the one who's making those decisions.
But it probably wouldn't have saved me this week anyways.
Don't put us in that position.
Yeah. Well, it's something I'm going to think of for the rest of the year now. We're running out of bye weeks, but, you know.
Yep.
But, yeah, well, all right. Thanks for joining us, Jackie. We don't have...
Yeah.
You know what? This is going to be your drop for the night, okay?
Go 45 and 2 zigzags. Baby, that's all we need.
That was Travis's
All
old
right.
drop. Rest in peace, Travis. I don't know where he is.
Oh, God.
Like it. I love it.
Awesome. All right. Rob and I are going to finish up here for, with a couple items over the next few minutes. You want to stick around or are you good to go?
I'm good to go. I'm good to go to bed.
Well, thank you for joining
Way
us,
past
Jackie.
my bedtime.
Hopefully we'll see you again next year.
Yeah. Hopefully.
All right. You have a good night. We'll see you later.
Good night.
Well, Rob, that was our Jackie interview. What kind of...
I think what's important is she outlasted Kyle.
I think that
that's-
is important.
I feel like that's a good bragging right for her. You know, like he's supposed to be the expert. He has a podcast. You know, like I still beat your ass. Like that's kind of a cool flex.
Kyle has been on record with saying multiple times that Jackie's gotten the best of him at fantasy football. So that feels, kind of, heartwarming to me.
Yeah. Sometimes I feel knowledge is a curse in fantasy football. The more you know, the more you look into and research and try to predict, that the more you lose in this fucking league. Like you pointed it out with me. You're like, it's crazy how much I put into it just to turn around and run into a brick wall every week.
I think our overall record would definitely back that situation. But
no less, win more.
That's right. Just get lucky is really all you need. Going forward here, Rob, looking at the teams that are left in this Guillotine League, who do you feel? Who do you feel's the one looking on the outside, looking in here? It's getting to the point here where I would assume that like Jimmy's like on the edge. However, ever since like I thought he threw his last Hail Mary like 3 weeks ago, his team's been scoring all right. So am I wrong here? Do you think that one of the teams we don't think is going to lose?
It's a crapshoot. Like all the good players are on the remaining teams, and yeah, I mean I don't love how Jimmy's team looks as a whole, but he's getting it done. 134 points last week. It's just I find it so comical that Jason ran out of money again, and so did Matt Olson. Like you have 2 teams in this league with $0. How do you fuck that up? Like no way to make any emergency moves. Like you just have what you have. Like, and granted, their teams are decent, but man, it's just crazy that.
So yeah. So with that said, looking at Jason's team, he's actually found himself in like a pretty solid spot. He's got Drake May, and Daniel Jones as his quarterbacks. DeAndre Swift, Devon Achane, J.K. Dobbins at running back. Woody Marks also. Rashee Rice, he came back off of the suspension. He's been playing well. Deebo Samuel. I mean, he's got guys, and the key I think here is he's actually set up with multiple head coaches and multiple defenses. He has 2 top 3 defenses.
Yeah, and he can't fuck up the kicker thing because those aren't a thing.
There's no kickers to fuck up. So we solved that problem for him. So Jason might not be in a terrible spot. Now, the guy I'm looking at here is Matt Olson, because Matt's in a predicament at quarterback, and he's out of money. Bryce Young has not been playing well. He's the 27th overall quarterback, which when you only got 9 teams or 8 teams left, having the 27th overall quarterback's not great. Also, he's got the penis He's the 25th overall quarterback. Not a good situation there. And C.J. Stroud is currently projected to not play in the game this Sunday. So he might be down to one quarterback for this week, and it might be only the penis. Now, on a bright side for him, he's got Beige, he's got James Cook, he's got Rico Dowdle, and then Chris Olave is on bye, but Olave's been playing well. And he's also got Drake London. So, like, he's got a solid core starting lineup, but, you know, this is like a kind of week that could bite us a lineup like that. And, for instance, if Bijan Robinson, James Cook, Drake London, Rico Dowdle, Chris Olave, if all those guys are available on waivers, it's going to be interesting to see how things fall.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And if you put a gun to my head and say I have to pick a team that's going to lose, I guess I would say Jimmy, just because of the recent dart injury and just some of the, I guess, volatility of the players he's rolling out. You know, he did strike gold in a couple of situations there, but I don't know. It just doesn't seem sustainable. Now, I say that, and what the fuck do I know?
I mean, and I got to say, aside from the quarterback situation, with him having Mayfield and, like, Dart, if Dart were to play, but it looks like he's not, Jimmy's team looks pretty distressed. Yeah. I mean, he does not have position players that everybody else has. When you just look at the rankings, his guys are much lower than everybody else. But they've been getting it done. That's the scary thing.
Right, and you know that's the thing with boomer bust players is you just gotta hope the train keeps rolling, or at least they alternate enough that and he's still got $14 budget, so he could make some plays. He is one of the top. He's second overall in waiver budget. So if he does survive this week, he will have, with the exception of you, his choice of the group, depending what the the needs are for you two. You own the board.
Yeah. So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens here. But all we can do is hope and pray and try to live another week.
Yeah, I made some money here this last week. I stole the high score from you.
Yeah, so if the Packers would have won, I would have gotten high score.
Damn,
it was that head coach swing. But yeah, I thought I had it, and it was right there. It was right there for the taking, and I blew it. 3 points.
Hey, yep, that's all it take. I'll wait to see my Venmo come through when
I
ready.
Forgot to send that out. My apologies. I know
conveniently forgot.
I know a guy like you who hasn't been getting paid. That $10 means the world to you.
Well, I do a lot of my business through Venmo these days, given my private sector, career. So I have been watching my transactions in there pretty fluidly.
Now, a lot of public servants have been required to disclose any work they do outside of their government job. Have you been required to disclose what's going on with those Venmo accounts?
Well, as the water boy once said, what mama don't know won't hurt her.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
On that note, I think it's time to go. What do you think?
Yeah, let's get out of here.
All right. This is another edition of the Gentleman Fantasy Podcast. I'm Kyle. Have a week.
Peace.
If you're still listening to this, following this podcast, there will be another attempted redo on the failed Episode 5 Amy Olsen podcast. If the upload works, you will find it here on this feed. And then, of course, look in the show notes for the Easter egg. There's a specific time you should be zooming in to listen.
The legendary week 5.
Yeah, the
mythical.
the one that won't ever work properly. But there you have it. Look for that week 5 podcast.